Hello again, beautiful beings of light. And of course, welcome back to another live at 5:55 on Monday. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been about 2 weeks since I've been on live. And oh my goodness, so much to go through today, so much to tell all of you. I honestly really didn't know what to call this live video because I just want to talk about experiences and information and breaking through and being aware and the best way to mitigate fear and perception and all of the things that make up our reality. I was actually toying with the topic or the title of You Are Here for a Reason. And that's it, just titling it that, hey, you landed on the right video at the right time because you are ready for what you're about to experience. And that's what I really feel like the past 2 weeks has been. It's just, you're in the moment, you're in the flow, you are experiencing the journey, which is so incredible. And when I went back to Canada and I went back home, I got to see all of my tribe members. I bet you a lot of them are watching. So, hey, everyone from Canada who came to my event. It was absolutely incredible. And it was so nice to see everyone and to hug everyone, including my family, of course. I don't want to discount my mom and my brother and my stepdad and, all the aunts and all the uncles and the grandparents. So, yeah, it was just an incredible time. And I have to admit that some weird stuff has been happening in general, like some really weird stuff. Oh, I don't even know what to go into or how to go into it, but I want to ask all of you, how has the past 2 weeks been on your end? What have you been experiencing? So, of course, where are you tuning in from in the world? And what is one word that you could use to summarize the past 2 weeks for you? It's been interesting. Definitely a lot that I want to share with all of you today. I'll kind of give you a little overview of what today's live video is going to be about. I want to talk about what is real. Right now, a lot of people are taking exit points, which means that a lot of people are dying. And then on top of the physical passing and the physical deaths that we're all experiencing, including with pets and animals, there is also a huge ego death that everyone is experiencing as well. So I want to talk about what is real. We are all so fucking caught up in our own mind, we have no idea what is real anymore. So we're going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about perception, ego death. I'm going to be talking about the placebo effect and how powerful our mind is. I'm going to be talking about the difference between love and unconditional love and the fact that it's really important that we understand that. I also have a couple of experiences I want to share with all of you just for really good kind of a deeper understanding of the content today. And yeah, and then I've got a couple of really great announcements. And then I've got our draws today. We've been behind. So I have the podcast draw as well as the Facebook and Google draw. So that's going to be really exciting. And please, 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 all of you watching, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. I don't get paid for any of this information or content. This is really just me putting everything out there because it's my mission. It's my duty. So what I would ask for in return as far as receiving is give me engagement, right? Like, let me know that you're resonating and vibing with the content. Be vulnerable and comment your experiences and your emotions in the comment section so that I know that I'm actually on track with humanity, right? So that gives me the validation that I need to say, all right, I'm tapping into everyone, not just tapping into my own reality. And that's really important for me as well as a teacher. All right. Awesome. So hello, everyone. Hi, everyone on Facebook. Hi, everyone on YouTube. Let's see, what do we have here? We've got Michigan. Hi, Nate from Michigan. NL, I don't really know what NL is. What else? California. Hi, Debbie from California. Fantastic. Okay, San Francisco. All right. What else do we have over here? Fellow Canadian. Hi, Stacy. Awesome. A couple people saying they're feeling ill. Hi, Casey from California. Awesome. Okay. Very emotional roller coaster ride. All right. Good, 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 good. Mountains of Texas and Mexico. Awesome. Hello. Welcome everyone from everywhere. I really love this platform for expanding and co-creating. I have so many like super exciting opportunities for all of you and just to share. First and foremost, the Cosmic Goddess Retreat. So this is a 4-day intensive retreat with me. It's for women only. If you are interested in expanding, if you're interested in opening your third eye, if you're interested in seriously taking that next level, this is the last day for the early bird pricing, or I guess tomorrow is the last day for the early bird pricing. So you get an extra $200 off if you sign up with me today or tomorrow. There are double occupancy rooms and also single occupancy rooms. It's actually quite cheap. 3 vegan, vegetarian meals all included in this beautiful resort in Mexico. And not to mention the amount of inner work, exploration, past life expanding we're going to be doing. It's really going to be next level, and it's going to take all of you to the next level as well. So if you are a woman and you are interested in taking a trip, literally a trip of a lifetime, then you definitely don't want to miss out on this amazing Mexico retreat. We only have a limited number of spots available. So please, 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 please email me today or tomorrow to get in with the early bird pricing. And the email is expand@elizabethapril.com. Okay, it's just going to be so amazing. And honestly, I've been doing retreats for a couple of years now. Every single person who has had a retreat with me has expanded their life exponentially, and I bet you some of those people can give testimonies as well. And I saw a lot of those people in Canada when I went back. So please keep that in mind. Cosmic Goddess Retreat, Mexico, 2 days left for early bird pricings, but you got to be a lady. Sorry, guys, this is only for women this time. Webinars. Keep in mind that I have these incredible webinars for super cheap. I think they're like $44 Canadian, okay, which is like $30 American. I know, trust me, I'm dealing with the exchange rate every day. And it's all about how to be psychic, how to manifest the life that you deserve to live, and also how to break through the matrix, right? So I go anywhere from quantum physics to manifestation to third eye exploration. You do not want to miss out on these webinars. Once again, just $44 Canadian. Check that out. The link is posted in the comments right now. Okay, and then, of course, podcast. I just released a podcast. Everyone is loving it. I'm also attracting a lot of new people who have never heard of me before, who are absolutely loving the podcast. The funniest thing is that my producer of the podcast, this really awesome girl, her friend reached out to her and says, "Hey, Elena, you got to check out this new podcast. It's from this girl, Elizabeth, and I just listened to the trailer and she blew my mind. Like, you got to check out this new podcast." And Elena starts laughing and she's like, "Yeah, like I'm working on that podcast. I'm producing that." And it was just divine synchronicity, right? I love when the universe backs us and supports us. I will let you know that the next podcast that's released, it's about 30 minutes. It's out on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. And on Tuesday, it's literally called How the Universe Works. Now, it may seem like a really boring title, but I'm telling you, after I channeled the podcast, I'm sitting in my seat thinking, damn, that was intense. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I went into sacred geometry. I talked about the chakra system. I talked about the flux lines of the universe. I talked about literally how the universe works. I talked about humans learning lessons throughout the universe and how we ascend as humans through the universe. It is so incredible. And what I find is that the live videos are fantastic and it's a really great way to reach a broad audience, but it's a lot of information all in one. Because the podcasts are only 20 to 30 minutes, every single word I say, every single sentence used, it counts. And every single word used is meant to activate your DNA. So if you have yet to check out my podcast, the links are being, sent below. Please do so. Please check out those podcasts. I mean, it's absolutely mind blowing. So check that out on Tuesday. Okay. And then group session. I have a couple more spots. I think 5 more spots left for this. Is it this Sunday's? I think it is. This Sunday's group session. So if you're like, you know what, I've never had, a session from Elizabeth, but I have a couple of questions, this is what you need to get in on, okay? So if you have 2 questions, I channel live on the spot any questions that you have from your guides, right? So join us on this Sunday. It's only $55 Canadian, once again, and I will channel all of your most needed and priority information. Everyone who does these group sessions always typically comes back because they're so much fun and they're so expanding for everyone involved. Like, we really get into things. Okay, so that's really good. The last thing, this is so exciting. It literally brings so much joy to my heart. Back in March or January, maybe February, I turned to my girlfriend and I said, I would really love to speak at Contact in the Desert. Like, it's really on the bucket list, but it's not going to happen because I'm not big enough, all the excuses and all the fear and all the whatever came up, right? All the ego came up. And so she's like, babe, let's do it. We're going to make it happen, right? She's so positive. She's like, we're going to make it happen. Like, let's get into it. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. And then guess who contacts my girlfriend? Contact in the Desert. And so, long story short, she runs a really cool Facebook website, whatever, called Alien Policy. They reached out to her for advertising. She told them about me. I had a meeting with the founder and the executive director of Contact in the Desert. Okay, first of all, who here knows the conference Contact in the Desert? Please give me a thumbs up or message in the comments below. Who here knows about it? And on top of that, who here is going? Is anyone going to Contact in the Desert? For those of you who don't know what it is one of the biggest alien conferences in the world. I mean, can I say that? I want to say that. I'm going to say that. I don't know for sure, but it's huge. Anyone who is someone in the alien cosmic field is going. Oh, it's just incredible. So anyway, they basically told me, hey, all of our speaker spots are full, which makes sense because it is, in 3 weeks from now. But they said, we like your vibe and you can do interviews with all of the speakers, right? So now they're setting up a little booth for me with a huge background, Contact in the Desert background, cameras set up, microphones. I'm going to be the official host for Contact in the Desert, right? I mean, just out of the blue, out of nowhere, well, really not out of nowhere, manifested into my life. Thank you, universe. I will be interviewing all of the speakers, or hopefully most of the speakers, who are flying in from all over the world to speak at Contact in the Desert. And just to name a few of these big names, David Wilcock, that's right, I love that guy. George Norrie, oh my God, I really need to figure out these names. Okay, George Norrie, I think his name, from Coast to Coast Radio. Like, I'm talking about like the biggest guys, in the field. So I'm super excited. Even though I don't get to speak, there will be an opportunity for me potentially, if a speaker doesn't show up or, they're sick, heaven forbid, I get to fill in as well with my exciting content and information. So I'll be not only live interviewing all of the speakers off of the Contact in the Desert Facebook and YouTube pages. I'm going to be live on Facebook and Instagram, on my own Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And I'm also going to be recording for later post-production all of the interviews with all of the speakers. And I'll tell you all that even though I don't get to speak necessarily, I will be asking the most hard-hitting questions for all of these speakers, okay? So I'm gonna get into the heart of things. If I only have 10 minutes with each speaker, I'm gonna make it worthwhile. So That is definitely not something to miss. I am so freaking excited. Now, I'll just be vulnerable with all of you and say that it's kind of embarrassing because I don't do any external research. I seriously do not know most of the main players in this field. Like, I'm so in my own little universe with this content. So I have to do research on all of these people. And I think honestly, at the end of the day, it's a good thing that I'm not super well versed in all of these people, because I don't want to be a fangirl about it. You know, I'm just going to be really super, super real, but also really intense and deep. So definitely check that out. Contact in the Desert. You don't want to miss it. Tune in at that time. Okay, awesome. So my intention for the rest of this live video is to unlock your DNA and to shift your perception so that you can live life more free. That's really what I want for you from this live video, right? I try and set an intention, usually in my own mind. I wanted to explore that intention with all of you, okay? I want to open your minds today. Got some interesting sounds going on in the background. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's talk about ego death, and let's also talk about death. I did a little thing on Instagram yesterday about this. And what sparked this is not only multiple clients reaching out to me for emergency sessions and emergency phone calls. I literally had a friend 5 minutes before I went on live say, Elizabeth, you know, my boyfriend literally just left me. He took all his things and he left. She's like, we didn't have a fight. There was no issues. You know, she basically said it was like he was possessed, and then he left. And I need your help. Can you come over? So I'm literally going over and supporting her right after this live video, because everyone is going through some sort of ego death, ego collapse. Now, I don't honestly believe that her boyfriend was possessed and that's what, you know, made him leave. I believe that it was most likely he got triggered into a deep state of the third dimension. Right? We kind of all have our own personality traits when we're in the third lower vibrational frequency and when we're in the fifth higher vibrational frequency. We act like different people. I think we can all just be vulnerable and agree that there are two very different sides of us. One, it's like, hi everyone, and one that's super shut down or closed off or projectile or whatever that lower vibrational looks like. So a lot of these deaths. Now, especially since March. I think I might have mentioned this in another live video, but the Orange County, which is just beside LA, the Orange County Hospital was so backlogged with deaths, people dying, that they were like behind 3 months for putting the people in the mortuary and like, I guess, putting them into the records or whatever. Like, people are dying at such a intensely rapid pace, along with animals and pets. So I want to ask you, all of you, have you experienced a death or a passing in your life since 2019? Or do you know of a friend or family member who knows of someone who has passed, right? And I'm talking about animals and pets as well. So please comment below. Let me know if you have experienced a death yourself since 2019. Now, I just want to mention the 2 reasons why people are taking exit points, okay? 2 reasons why people are taking exit points at this time. One is, and this really hurts my heart, their vibrational level is not high enough to enter into the new vibration of the planet. Okay, basically that means they are no longer assisting the planet, they are holding the planet back. So that just means that they cross over, they take that exit point, and they do the work that they need to do on themselves and for the planet and the universe over on the other side, right? I mean, death doesn't really exist. It's just all constant. So that's one reason why their vibration just simply wasn't high enough to move forward. They're continuing to choose fear, 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 fear. Now, diversely, on the other side, I am witnessing many very high vibrational, very beautiful, very young people in their physical incarnation passing away for random reasons. Like it could be cancer and in 3 weeks they're gone. It could be an illness. It could be a freak accident. All these things are happening. And on the other side of things, so half of it is their vibration isn't high enough. The other half of it is their vibration is very high, but they had contracts on this planet to be here for a certain length of time. And then once they no longer need to be here, they do even more work over on the other side. And they become what I like to call an earth angel. And now, because they're such an enlightened soul, they're like, okay, I'm leaving you. I've done the work that I needed to do here on this planet to get humanity to a certain point. And now I'm going to shine my light somewhere else. I find that a lot of animals and pets have been crossing over because their owners they're sustainable enough, they're high vibrational enough to no longer need the assistance and the guidance of that pet or that spirit guide who's embodied within your pet, if that makes sense. Okay. So hopefully, my God, throat chakra. Hopefully that resonates with everyone. Ah, so interesting. Okay, so then let's talk about ego death. On Sunday, I had 5 back-to-back sessions, and I had all sessions with men. Now, this doesn't usually happen. Like, I'm lucky if I have 1 man per week in my sessions. And even though I'm not taking one-on-one sessions anymore, I'm still fully booked until like September, right? Anyway, so I really, really enjoy giving men sessions. And the reason why is because I'm very logical, very analytical. And instead of beating around the bush of, this is what you're feeling, this is what you need to know, this is how to mitigate your emotions, I basically tell them exactly how it is, not holding back, no fluffy stuff, just saying, this is where you are. This could potentially happen if you do not change yourself right now. So I'm like, that I had on Friday was with a man. And honestly, I basically had to tell this client of mine, I said, look, if you do not change your ways, something really serious could happen. And right now you're just having pains and red flags. And he got into a car accident. He almost had a stroke, but then they revived him so that he didn't like lose any function of his body. Like he keeps having these near miss incidences in his life. And I'm like, what do you think that is? It's red flags. You're not living your life appropriately. And guess what he told me? He's like, yeah, well, I'm so happy because the doctor gave me the clear ahead so that I can keep working on Monday. And I'm like, what are you doing? Stop working. Stop it. Like literally, like listen to the signs that the universe is giving you. You're being held back. You're getting into these accidents. You've had multiple near misses over the past couple of months. Stop what you're doing right now and change your ways. He's like 75 and he's like just excited to go back to his, analytical desk job. And I said, you got to connect to your emotions. You have to connect to yourself. He's like, I don't understand why I'm so triggered and so frustrated recently. And I said, it's because you're not listening to your emotions. Tune in with yourself. So it's so funny because this whole week, I've been almost yelling at my clients. Like, that's what I call it, yelling. Like, I don't like raise my voice typically, but it's really intense. And so my girlfriend will sometimes overhear me and she's like, hey, like, babe, like, are you okay? Like, what, that was really intense. Like, did you know that guy? And I'm like, no, I didn't know him, but like, obviously I knew him because I tapped into his energy, but I said, he needed to know that, which is so intense. So many people are having ego deaths and ego collapses right now, which means that the main identity that you attach yourself to is being stripped away from you. On Sunday, I told another one of my male clients, I said, you have only identified yourself with your job and you have to let go of that identity. And he looks at me and he's like, well, my job forced me into early retirement last month. I'm like, yes, that's amazing. And he's like, that's the worst news I could have possibly gotten. And I said, no, that is the best news you could have gotten. And you know why? Because you attached yourself, your confidence, your self-love to the job that you had and your ability to, gain access to finances. I said, that's not who you are. And that's not the only aspect of yourself that you should be loving. right? So I really, like, honestly, I had to whip these grown ass men into shape, this past weekend. And of course, for the females, I'm much softer. Sometimes I'm a little intense, and most of the time I'm pretty intense. But anyway, yeah. So ego deaths. Let's see. What is some? Okay, good. I'm going to give also some tangible things that you can be aware of during a time of a lot of fear or during a time of a huge ego collapse. Now, most of my shift masterclass students right now, I have about 10 of them, they're all going through an ego death. Like, I thought that it was going to be like lesson 4 or 5 when they had their ego death. And for a lot of my students, it's like lesson 1. They call me up, they're like, Elizabeth, who am I? You're asking me to define my ego and my consciousness and write down my emotions, my triggers, and my traumas. Like, I don't even know who I am anymore. I'm like, that's amazing. Good job. And they're like, what do you mean? Right? So just realize that the collapse and the frustration and the aches and pains in your body, these are all really positive things because it allows us to move forward. Okay. Okay, so what else did I want to mention? Okay, so when we go through an ego death and we collapse one aspect of who we are, we lose sight of what is real. So I want to talk about perception, and I want to talk about what is real, what is reality. Let me just make it as simple as possible. Reality is what you make it. What we see around us, what we experience in our life, the opportunities that we attract or not attract, the fear that we bring into our life, the dreams that we have, the people that we meet, right? We create that through our mind. Our thoughts create our reality. It is as simple as that. So what is real? To answer that question, I would answer it with whatever you believe is real. Super important. Now, the coolest thing is once something gets introduced to your reality, right? Say, for example, it's the disclosure of alien life form, right? Say, for example, it's the understanding that interdimensional life does indeed exist. So before that, your reality was never even including aliens. I mean, most people on this planet don't even think about other life, right? Now, all of a sudden you come across a really cool video and you really resonate with the person on the video. And then you're like, yeah. And then they say something that challenges your belief system. Now, YouTube, I want to talk to you specifically about this because it tends to be that I trigger a lot of people on YouTube, and I see a lot of deleted comments on YouTube right now. So either they are gross sexual comments or they're really triggering comments, maybe from Christians, maybe from people who have a different belief system. But I tend to trigger a lot of people on YouTube. And triggering someone is a really powerful tool for changing someone's reality. The only reason why YouTube, I trigger you so much is because I am opening your mind and challenging your current reality. I'm challenging your current belief system. Now, I want to let all of you know that you wouldn't be here spending the time to watch this video if you weren't ready for your reality and your perception to be challenged. You're ready to open your mind, but a lot of the times our egos are not ready to let go of our old belief system so that we enter into that new understanding, that new belief system, right? So if before you never thought about aliens, then you watch a video, you're resonating with everything, and then that person says, and aliens exist. You're like, fuck you, no they don't. And there's this reaction that comes from you, right? It's aggression because you've attached yourself to something that you believe in such a ferocious way. Now, the beautiful thing is deep down at a soul level, if that information is aligned to your best and highest truth and then connected to universal source consciousness, your soul will resonate with it one way or another. I don't care if your human rejects me. I don't care if you just think I'm a pretty blonde girl. I don't care what you think of me. Deep down, you're here for a reason. You're listening to this content and it's shifting you. It is literally changing your DNA and it's unlocking you, whether you want to believe me or not. It's creating a shift. It's creating a perception change. It's opening up your mind. Now, something really cool. I want to talk about a Mandela effect that happened to me recently. It's like really weird. And honestly, if you thought that I was just like crazy before, wait till you hear this, because this is like next level weirdness. Okay. And you just take it or leave it. It's completely up to you. Hey, I'm just sharing my own life experiences. Okay, so about 3 weeks ago, I had a client of mine tell me all her experiences about the Mandela effect. And she's just this like older lady who, just living her life, and she's talking about flipping through parallel realities. So she tells me, she's like, Elizabeth, I'm retired and I really enjoy gardening. And I swear to you, the one day I go out to my garden and this bush that has always been in the corner is now no longer in the corner, and it's in the middle of the yard, right? She's like, I have never seen that bush in the middle of the yard before. And she says, I inspected the corner. It's not like someone unplanted it and then replanted it. It's like it was there. It was grown in for years, right? And she's like, this is the wildest thing. But she's like, I keep seeing that my foliage is changing. And I'm like, okay, weird. I've never heard of the Mandela effect or parallel realities with plants, and foliage. Of course anything exists, but I thought that was a little weird, right? But I resonated with it. Okay, then in the past couple of months, there is this plant. Okay, this is kind of weird, but there's this plant. Every time I walk through the condo complex that I'm in LA, I walk through it. There's this beautiful plant. It's this like little baby plant, and it's got this like green leaf that sticks up. And I don't know, I didn't even really know what plant it was, but the green leaf, it was the weirdest thing. And I might have mentioned this before, but it just goes like this, right? It literally looks like it's blowing in the wind at all times, but there's no wind at all, right? And nothing else is moving. And this plant, this little plant is just moving like crazy. I'm like, this is the weirdest thing. And like every time I walked by it, which was every day, I would like say hi to the plant, because it was so clear that the consciousness of the plant was just so excited to be alive. It was like dancing. This plant was dancing. It was just wild. Anyway, so I pointed it out to my girlfriend a couple of times, like, babe, like, look at this plant. This is weird. Like, it's clearly like saying hi or whatever. And then the one day I walked by, I'm like, I got to get a video of this plant, right? I just have to post this thing. This is so weird. So anyway, so I'm about to take a video. I have my camera out, my phone out, and the plant is in front of the gym window of the condo, right? Then all of a sudden there's this like big buff guy in the window. And I'm like, oh, now I can't take a video of the plant because I'm going to be creepily taking a video of this guy at the gym, right? And he's looking right at me. So I'm like, I'll take the video tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow rolls around. Turns out the plant is gone. It's the weirdest thing ever. The plant is gone. Like it's just vanished, disappeared. I'm baffled because this plant was way back in the shrubbery. There's no way someone went over there to take out one plant that was in the garden. I even went over there and I inspected the area. All the leaves had fallen. There was no rustling. There was no dirt that was turned up. Like this plant had just vanished. I'm like, Mandela effect. That's weird, Anyway, okay, then I go to Canada, right? I'm gone for a week. I come back. It gets weirder. When I come back, I'm like looking at that spot, and we've got all our bags. We're coming from the airport, and I stop, and I'm like, hey, babe, remember that plant that was there, and then it disappeared? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you remember there being a baby palm tree in the middle of these two posts where that little baby plant was? She's looking and she's looking and she's looking. She's like, you know what? I don't remember ever there being a palm tree there. And no word of a lie, there is a 2.5 foot grown palm tree with these palm fronds coming at the top. I'm like, that's where the baby plant was. So here's my theory. This is a theory. I haven't tapped into it or channeled it. My theory is that there's a little mini portal. Okay, there's a little vortex that is in that area. What I believe happened was that little baby plant was actually a baby palm. I don't know what baby palms look like, but now I can understand that that's what it was. So I think that little baby plant was a palm, and then the vortex, for whatever reason, it how do I say it? It skipped in time, like it advanced time in that area. And then the palm tree was now maybe 2 years old. I don't know. I'm just saying that woman opened me up to Mandela effects happening with foliage and gardens. And I just want to like put it out there that it's completely possible. And I want you to now pay more attention to every aspect of your life. And now I'm like kicking myself for not getting the video of the thing, for not even just taking a picture of the area to see if the picture changed as well, or if I was managed to get a picture of the past and the future. Anyway, all these weird things are happening. Okay. Another crazy Mandela effect that happened last night. I just want one more thing to mention so that all of you can be aware of the weird Mandela effects that are happening to all of you. Okay, this is weird. I don't even know what to make of this. Okay, so last night I ordered, I'm going to sound so LA when I say this, but I have to say it. Okay, last night I ordered Instacart and I ordered Uber Eats. So Uber Eats is basically a meal delivery service, you know, whatever. And then Instacart is a grocery delivery service. I know, it's like so, I'm like, I don't have to leave to get groceries. I'll just get someone to bring them to my door. Anyway, so the Uber Eats, the last night's dinner and the groceries arrived basically a couple of minutes apart. So the Uber Eats app tells me that the driver of the Uber Eats, they're totally unrelated. Instacart and Uber Eats, completely different things altogether. The Uber Eats app tells me that the car is a Volkswagen Jetta and it's blue, right? Okay, cool. Now, I was complaining at that time to my girlfriend, Nat, about the Instacart app not telling you what the driver is driving. So I'm like, like I wish they were more like Uber Eats and tell me what car they were driving so I can look out for them. Anyway, so then like this guy pulls up in this Toyota Prius, right? And he's like, hey, Uber Eats. And I'm like, what? Like the Uber Eats app told me that it was a Volkswagen Jetta. And I'm like, oh, sometimes, you know, the guy will borrow his girlfriend's car and that's fine or whatever. And it was my order and it was fine. Okay, no word of a lie. A minute goes by. A minute later, the Instacart driver pulls up and my girlfriend's like, yep, that's it. It's the blue Volkswagen Jetta. And I said, no, the blue Volkswagen Jetta was for the Uber Eats. And she says, no, I know this is the guy. And turns out that was the guy for Instacart. So I am absolutely mind fucked at this point. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, did they literally hop into a different dimension and switch cars? Like, what happened there? I don't know, but shit is getting weird over here. I don't know if you guys are, you know, feeling the weirdness too. Time is speeding up and then it's slowing down and then you're hopping into another parallel dimension and then this guy is driving the car that the other guy is supposed to be driving and then the plant was there, but then it wasn't there. And now it's an older plant that never used to be there. I don't know, guys. Am I just like seriously going crazy? And like, that's the other part of the Mandela effect. It's one thing to start opening your mind and saying, who am I? Why am I here? And what's going on? And just figuring out this third dimensional linear reality is enough work. But then we start to open up to the quantum hologram matrix of this entire universe. And now time and space don't exist. And we're folding the timelines in on each other. Like, I mean, if you did not know who you were or you thought you were crazy before, just wait until you hop into the fifth dimension because shit is about to get real weird real quick. And I'm telling you that this is not weird stuff that I'm just experiencing. This is weird stuff that everyone is experiencing, okay? So give it maybe a month, give it a week, maybe give it a year. But now I'm thinking to myself, should I just be taking a picture of everything? Like should I be screenshotting everything? Should I be like documenting my entire life just in case there's some sort of weird flip that happens? I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at. And just weird stuff has been going on. Okay, not to mention, one more thing I'm just going to mention is it's now an alien thing. Last night in LA, and if you're in LA, please validate this. The sky was dark red. It was a red, like there was clouds in the sky, which really never happened for LA. And the sky at dusk and at nighttime was red. It was like this, like, oh, this weird red energy. And my girlfriend and I felt not watched. I haven't actually felt watched in a little while, so thank you all for protecting me. But we felt this heaviness, and both of us were very triggered. And then I channeled it later, what was going on. And there's a giant reptilian spaceship that has kind of, I don't want to say landed, but it's hovering over LA right now. And the reason why, and it was actually causing the sky to go red last night. And the reason why there's this giant reptilian mothership here is because there's some sort of award show. I don't know if it's like, I don't even know. Oscars, Grammys, music awards. I don't know. I don't care because I don't watch TV or that kind of TV anyway. Anyway, so I channeled that the reptilians have landed. They're here in LA. They're hovering around because they just want to like watch the award show. And I'm like, oh my God. I don't know. Some weird stuff is happening. So if you're in LA and you're feeling some like heaviness, that's exactly why you're feeling that. Okay, so moving on. Sorry about all of that rambling, but I hope that you really enjoyed those experiences because I'm like, when else do I get to relay all of my crazy experiences with the world, right? Like this is the time to do it. Okay, so our perception is really, really, really important. And our perception is really the only thing that creates our reality. If you think that you're sick, you're going to get sick. If you think that you're going crazy, you're going to go crazy. If you think that you've lost yourself completely, you've lost yourself completely. If you think that you are abundant, you are going to be abundant. Your thoughts create your reality. The most perfect example of how powerful our thoughts are is in relation to something called a ghost pregnancy. A friend of mine had a ghost pregnancy, and I've also done a little bit of research and channeling into this. Basically, what a ghost pregnancy is when a mother believes and thinks and wants to be pregnant so badly that she starts having all of the symptoms. She doesn't have her period, her stomach starts to get bigger, breasts are tender, she's having morning sickness, she's craving foods. This could go on for months, okay? This ghost pregnancy is the prime example of how powerful our mind really is. If you really want to be pregnant, your body will your mind, your thoughts will convince your body that you are pregnant. Right? If you every single day you look in the mirror and you say, wow, you're just so beautiful today. Guess what? You're going to become more beautiful, right? Did you know that your face can actually change as you awaken? It's really cool. And I recommend that all of you take a picture now and maybe take a picture of yourself in 5 years from now, or compare your faces from 3 years ago, and see the difference, right? Awakening can change the shape of your face and the shape of your body. Right? Especially with regards to weight. If you look at yourself every day and say, I got to lose this, and I can't fit into my clothes, and I'm not good enough, or you're going to exemplify that in your reality, right? One more thing is there's a really important technique. It's called scarring. I think it's called scarring. I don't know research on this, just what I've channeled, look into to receive information. Just know that every single reflective surface is a mere reflection of your reality. Every time you look at yourself in the camera lens, right? You're taking a selfie. Every time you see, just catch a glimpse of yourself in your phone screen. Every time you walk by a mirror or you walk by a reflective surface and you see yourself, you are looking into a mere reflection reality, which means that if you look at yourself and say, oh, you're so ugly, you don't deserve to have a good life, guess what? You're reflecting that back into your reality. Mirrors are really weird things. They really, really, truly are. Mirrors create parallel dimensions. They do. And I really need to have a podcast on the importance of mirrors, and I will. But be aware that you are co-creating your reality with every single thought that you have in your mind. Now, one more thing about that is if you're like, okay, every single day I have 100 negative thoughts about myself a day. But if you can sit down every day and write down one positive thought, guaranteed it will override all of the negative thoughts that you have been thinking that day. And the reason why is our thoughts are undirected and unsustainable. Like our thoughts are almost like foggy, right? It's like this drift in the wind, right? That's what our thoughts are. But the second that we take a thought, we define the thought, and we translate that thought in a different dimension into the third dimension through writing, we are instantly sustaining, stabilizing, and manifesting that thought. Okay? 100 thoughts to one sentence of appreciation or affirmation. The written word is 10 times more powerful than your thoughts. So one of the biggest aspects of reprogramming your brain is to write, and reprogram your brain and really target the fears that you have inside your mind. Okay? Okay, good. Okay, so I want to talk about love versus unconditional love. Okay, really quickly. Love is something that we're all taught that at Valentine's Day, you show love to the people that, to your partner. A Mother's Day, you show love to your mom, right? And I think Mother's Day is coming up. So hi, Mom. And so love is this thing that we've been taught that because there are things in your life that you have attachments to, those attachments create expectations, those expectations create obligations, and because of the expectations, attachments, and obligations, you need to be giving back to the people that you love. No. That is the worst understanding of love ever. Okay. And the reason why is the majority of the love that we feel and the love that we express is conditional love. Basically, it's bullshit. Okay. It's bullshit love. That's what it is. That's what I like to call it. Right. I'll give you a really good example of conditional bullshit love. The conditional love is you're going out to a party and you've got all your makeup on, or you're dressed in like a swaggy attire, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, damn, I love myself right now. I love myself. Okay, cool. Well, why? Why do you bullshit love yourself in that moment? You love yourself in that moment because you're looking good, because you've cleaned yourself up, because you're projecting something about yourself that you think that you need to be in order to be accepted. It's bullshit. Sorry. It's bullshit. It's not real love, right? We put conditions on our own love. Therefore, we put conditions on the love for everything and everyone else. I love myself only if I lose 10 pounds. I love myself only if I land that promotion. I love myself only if my kids love me. I love myself only if the world loves and accepts me. Fuck that. Sorry, but fuck that. It's bullshit. It's bullshit love, and that's not going to get you anywhere. And every single one of us, myself included, because I had this breakthrough recently, every single one of us need to redefine what love really is and understand that we are not loving anyone, anything, including ourselves, in the right way. We're not loving in the right way. Unconditional love. Let me give you an example of unconditional love. Unconditional love is looking at yourself in the mirror. You've broken out with acne, myself included. You're just having a cranky day and all of the beauty, and you're saying, you know what? Damn. I love you, right? I love you no matter what. I love you if you have makeup on. I love you if you have an extra 10 pounds on. I love you if you have that job or if you don't have that job. I love you, right? Myself, whether my kids love me or not. I love me, right? That's unconditional love. Say, for example, in a different sense, a father to a son, right? The father's like, son, I'm disappointed and I don't know if I can say that I love you because you're gay. Right? But I will love you if you go to a gay reform school, right? Or whatever, gay camp, I don't know. That's conditional love. I will love you if you meet the requirements for being a good son in my own eyes, right? Or likewise, on the other end, you know what, son, you're gay and I don't really know how to feel about that in my own life, but I love you no matter what. So I don't care what your sexual preference is. That, my friends, that is not getting any one of us anywhere, because we're continuing to convince ourselves that we truly do love ourselves. And Christine, you just wrote the word acceptance. So I always say love or fear, love or fear, love or fear. Now, recently with this conditional versus unconditional love download that I recently received, I don't want to say fear or love anymore because the concept of love is so misused. Just like I never want to use the word God because the word God has been so misused, right, in so many ways. So I don't want to say love or fear anymore. So I asked for a better word, and the word that came to me was acceptance. Pure acceptance is pure unconditional love. I accept you no matter what. Therefore, I love you no matter what. So I don't want to say fear or love. I want to say fear or acceptance. So say, for example, you just lost your job, right? You can have all of the projection, my boss hates me, that's why I got fired. The universe hates me, that's why I'm cursed from the past, that's why I got fired. You could project it all you want in the fear state, or you could stay in that moment and you can accept it and say, you know what? I love this moment because I'm letting something go and I'm ready to move on. That's acceptance. That pure acceptance is the only thing that will move you forward as fast as possible. Okay, awesome. So I want to I want to give you a really good example. I was watching this documentary last night. It's like the Planet Life Planet. I don't know. It's on Netflix. It's really cool. It's a nature doc, right, by the BBC, and it was really awesome. So I'm like kind of like really honed in on like all of the nature that's going on, and these like cute little caterpillars, right, just born. They start to string themselves down off of this piece of grass, right? And they're like going down. And David Attenborough is like, this poor caterpillar is putting himself in harm's way, and the caterpillar is going down to the forest floor where all of the ants are going to take the caterpillars away. Right? I'm like, no, the baby caterpillar is going to be eaten by the ants, right? So the little baby caterpillar is down on the forest floor. The ant scoops up the caterpillar. I'm freaking out, right? I'm like, scoops up the caterpillar and takes the caterpillar back to the ant den. And I'm like, no, the caterpillar is now food for the ants, right? And then David Attenborough is like, and this is exactly what the caterpillar wants, because the caterpillar gives off a pheromone that tells the ants that the little baby caterpillars are actually the larvae of the ants. So now the ants are treating these caterpillars like these larvae, like these little ant babies, and they're feeding them, and then the caterpillars are growing, and then eventually the caterpillars start giving off a pheromone to tell the ants that the caterpillars are actually the ant queen, and all of a sudden the caterpillars are being treated like queens by the ants, and all these things are happening. Then the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and bursts into this beautiful, it's called an archon butterfly, this beautiful blue archon butterfly, and spreads its wings, and it leaves the ant nest, and it's off doing its thing. And the ants take care of the caterpillars for 2 years. So I want to let you know, right? It's like really clued into me last night. At first, I was so fear-based on, oh no, the poor caterpillar, this new life is going to be eaten by the ants. And it actually turned out to be the most positive thing. So when you lose your job, or your partner leaves you, or you break out, or you put on an extra 10 pounds, it's not all for loss. Okay, it's actually just a part of the journey of life. And the more we accept, and the more we unconditionally love ourselves, the easier life becomes, and the more graceful and free and liberated we become within ourselves. Okay, that being said, let's do an awesome draw for everyone today. And a couple of things, once again, going over the announcements one more time. 1 day left for the Cosmic Goddess Retreat, women only. If you are interested in an epic 4-day journey, 3 beautiful vegetarian meals at a beautiful retreat center in Mexico, right off of the beach, please contact me. 2 more days left, today and tomorrow, for early bird pricing. You get $200 off if you book today or tomorrow. So even if you're thinking about it, it doesn't hurt to reach out to me via email. So either through my website or just emailing me, expand@elizabethapril.com, okay? And then I can share with you the rest of the details. Women only, Cosmic Goddess Retreat, only a couple of spots left, super, super limited availability, okay? So please let me know, reach out to me. It's all about expansion. Also, next podcast on Tuesday, okay, tomorrow night, it's called How the Universe Works. I'm telling you, this is, I'm just getting chills thinking about it. It is such a DNA download. Like, if you want to upgrade your DNA and unlock your third eye and like really experience the next level of perception, please check out this podcast, How the Universe Works, on iTunes. Okay, it is so, like, I was shocked at the information that came out from this podcast. So please check that out. Also, I will be the official host and interviewer, I guess, MC, I don't know what to call it, of Contact in the Desert. So I will be on the Contact in the Desert Facebook and YouTube page. I will be interviewing David Wilcock, Stephen Greer, George Norrie, and literally 57 other speakers that are world renowned. Okay, this is just really incredible group session. I still have spots open for the group session on Sunday. I am channeling your questions live on Sunday in a 10-person limited group session, $55 Canadian. You get your 2 questions answered. I go as deep as past lifetimes, cosmic connection, soul contracts, you name it. I can go into it. Check that out. You can book that right now to lock in your place for this Sunday group session. Okay, awesome. And then my webinars. Don't forget about the Opening Your Third Eye, Manifestation, and Breaking Through Reality webinars. Super important. And without further ado, my lovely awakeners, let's do 2 of the Facebook and Google draw. Okay, this is, I think I have over 350, maybe 400 names in here. So let's choose 2 because I missed the last 2 weeks of draws. I always set good intentions for whoever needs to be chosen. This is going to be for a free webinar of your choice. Let's see, 1 name, and all right, 2 names. And then let's do 1 draw for the podcast. So if you want to get your name in these draws, please go over to iTunes and review my podcast on iTunes. I definitely recommend the iTunes review because there's only 40 names in there opposed to 400. Okay, so it's much better odds, much better chance. So let's just kind of do a little draw for the podcast. All right, this one feels good. Okay, so podcast draw winner. Let's see. Awesome. Okay, so Wayne, you have won. You have won a awesome webinar from me, and please contact me, Wayne, because I don't have any way of contacting you from the iTunes review. Okay, I cannot reach out to you. So please, Wayne, if you did a review for me on the podcast on iTunes, please reach out, email me, and I will email you a free webinar. And then let's see for the Facebook and Google. All right, okay. Belen Martiner, and this is from Google. Belen Martiner, thank you so much. Martinez, oh my goodness, okay. I can't read my own writing. Martinez, that's much better, okay. Belen Martinez, congratulations. Okay, once again, if you're watching this, please reach out to me and let me know. It just saves me a lot of trying to hunt you down and find you. Congratulations. I will message you with your free webinar. And last but not least, let's see our last but not least, Gabby Diaz. Congratulations, Gabby Diaz. Please contact me. If not, I will have my lovely assistant contact you. I am so happy to be back on the live videos. I literally just had so many experiences and so much to say to all of you today. I hope that I helped to open and unlock your perception, because unlocking your mind, opening your perception will unlock your DNA and allow you to also experience what this hologram matrix reality really truly has to offer. Thank you all so much, and I will be back this Tuesday, okay? Tuesday on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, any of the podcasters, okay, for my epic podcast. And I will also be back next Monday for another amazing live video. Love you all. Have a good one. Bye, Facebook. Bye, YouTube.